Hello and welcome to my channel Happy Hours. In my last video I discussed about the money and its function, about legal tender, difference between the money and currency, about inflation control and a concept which is unrealized capital gain, demand and supply of money, equilibrium rate of interest and about the impact of increase in demand for money on the rate of interest. In this video, I am going to discuss about the bank rate, repo rate and a concept real sector economy. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump to the topic bank rate. Bank rate is the interest rate at which a nation's central bank lends money to the domestic banks. This is often in the form of very short-term loans. Managing the bank rate is a method by which central banks can affect economic activity. In the event of fund deficiency, a bank can borrow money from the central bank of the country. It is a quantitative tool of credit control in the economy to control the situation of inflation and deflation. A lending rate of the RBI to be applied as the rate of rediscounting of the first category commercial bills to be submitted by the banks. The commercial bills are money market instruments to be issued by the traders, etc., for exchanging goods and money. In these instruments, specific amount of money is promised to be paid by the issue to the receiver. Now these bills are going to work like money. If any bank provides guarantee on these bills regarding security of payment, then these bills become the first category commercial bills. We can understand this by an example. There are four members like A, B, Bank of Baroda and RBI. Suppose A is getting some goods from B, means B is selling some goods to A and A is not able to pay the bill in the form of cash. So what he can do is that it is going to give a bill with the bank which is taking the guarantee is SBI, and the bill will have the money mentioned on that. Like even the issuer of the bill will be mentioned like SBI, even A will name of the person will also be mentioned like A, and even the amount of money will be mentioned which is rupees 100. Now when B is having that bill and that bill B is also having some lack of liquidity, so B is going to take this bill to the next level, and that is Bank of Baroda, because it has to cash it. So now it is going to produce the bill to Bank of Baroda, and Bank of Baroda is going to discount it and going to give rupees 92 instead of 100, means there will be a discount rate of 8% and B will receive 92 rupees. Suppose Bank of Baroda is also feeling a crunch of liquidity due to certain reason. So it will go to RBI, which is the central bank of India, and going to produce the bill and ask for the cash. Now RBI is going to do rediscount because already the bill was discounted. Again it is going to discount, so it will become rediscount. So instead of 8%, it is going to charge 6% only, and now it will provide rupees 94 to Bank of Baroda. When time will be over, RBI will take money from SBI because SBI was the guarantor. So SBI will take service charges from A, since it has provided the guarantee to A. So this rupees A, which was the loss, or from as RBI to SBI, it is going to take that from A as a guarantee money, which is rupees 8. If RBI is increasing the bank rate, then the discount rate is also going to get increased. So there will be less commercial bills, so the people are going to use less of money. In 2011, the RBI said that the bank rate would be equal to the MSF rate. Since presently the MSF rate is 6.75%, therefore the bank rate is also 6.75% presently. Now there is a next concept which is known as repo rate, a lending rate of the RBI. Under it, banks borrow from RBI for ultra short run except in the case of LTROs, which means long term repo operations introduced in the year 2020. Repo rate's full form is repurchase agreement or repurchasing option. Banks obtain loans from the Reserve Bank of India by selling qualifying security. The submission word is not used, and instead of it, sell word is used always. Whenever there is a money borrowing and from the central bank by the commercial bank, they are not saying that they are going to submit something. They are going to say that they are selling some security. Current repo rate in India is fixed by RBI. Under it, banks are required to repurchase GSEC submitted by them to the RBI in order to borrow from it. Thus, it is a collateralized facility. Under repo rate, banks can borrow money for the following time period. First is the 1 day, which is overnight repo, and the next four are 3 day, 7 day, 14 day, and 28 day. So the maximum is the 28 day, and these all are known as term repo because the only one is there which is the overnight repo. So in compared to one, all others are going to become little larger. So they are using the word term repo. Now there is a concept like variable repo rate, which is also known as VRR. It is a liquidity injection tool of the RBI. As the system deficit leads to muted demand and contraction of economic activities, the RBI conducts VRR auctions as and when need arises. It is to be noted that banks borrow money from the RBI through the repo rate in order to cover temporary mismatches in their liquidity flows. We can understand through this that whenever there is a surplus of money with the commercial bank, then they are going to use reverse repo rate, and with this they are going to submit some money to the RBI so that they can reach the average liquidity requirement. Whereas there are certain conditions when they are having the deficit of liquidity, and at that time they are using the repo rate to borrow some money from the central bank so that they can reach the average line. This is the very temporary mismatch, so it is known as the temporary mismatch the liquidity adjustment facility, LAF. When a commercial bank faces financial crisis and fails to obtain funds from the other sources, then the central bank plays the vital role of lender of last resort. It is always known as the lender of the last resort and provides them with the financial assistance in the form of credit. This role of central bank saves the commercial bank from bankruptcy, but this is only for the short term. If the liquidity flow problem is for longer period, then the central bank cannot help and may ask to wind up the business. It is to be noted that the repo rate in India is also called the policy rate because the monetary policy is basically implemented through this rate. In other words, the monetary transmission mechanism is implemented through this rate. Under the monetary transmission mechanism, the real sector economy or the goods sector economy is impacted through the changes in the rate of interest. Here we got a new term which is known as real sector economy. We should understand what is this, and that the real sector of economy is essential for economic growth. It includes all activities that directly produce goods and services such as agriculture, manufacturing, and constructions. Households and non profit institutions that serve households are also part of the real sector. So we can say whatever is like agriculture and even the production, these all are known as the real sector economy. The money is not only the part of economy, because money is required to do some investment. So the major economy is like goods and services. Basically, these are used to produce some goods and services. So money is the movement tool. They are demand, and it is used as a mobilization, and the goods are derivative for the money. Monetary sector is different, and we can say that they are it cannot separately exist, because they are always depends on money. You cannot do anything with money, because you need to have certain goods or services to live your life. You cannot eat the money. So so money sector never get impacted, never impact the good sector. Good sector is individual, and even money is getting involved, and then only for the goods. For example, if the repo rate is reduced, suppose there is a situation when the repo rate is reduced by the RBI, then the commercial banks will also reduce their lending rate, which is then they are going to reduce the deposit rate also. If this happens, then the demand for liquidity will increase, which will further increase the demand for goods. Because the demand for liquidity of money is always purposeful, because you are not taking your money just to keep it in your pocket. You are going to use it further in the form of goods. And in the economy sector, services are also known as goods. So if demand for goods is higher, then GDP and employment will also be higher, assuming that the shortage of aggregate demand is the factor responsible for lower level of GDP and employment. Similarly, if the repo rate is increased by the RBI, then the commercial banks will also increase their lending rate and even the deposit rate. This will lead to the decrease in demand for liquidity of money, resulting into less demand for goods. The less demand for goods will further reduce the rate of inflation, assuming that the excessive aggregate demand is the factor responsible for higher inflation. Now, with this, we have understood one thing, that when the rate is higher, then the deposit rate is also higher. Means people are going to deposit more and more money in the bank, and so when the money is in the bank, then it is not flowed in the market. Means there is a less demand for goods, and if there is less demands of good, then means there is low inflation also. But when there the rate is decreased, then the lending rate is decreased and even the deposit rate is decreased. So people are going to have more and more money, because now they are not getting any good option to get as a from the bank, in the form of when they are depositing and they are getting the interest. So what they are going to do, there will be a flow of money in the market, so the inflation rate is also going to get increased. So by this we can understand how the bank rate of interest is going to affect the inflation of the market. By this I am concluding my video, and if you like it is useful, please like and subscribe, and share. Thank you.